Leave a fresh bakery loaf on the counter, and by day 2 it may already feel drier and firmer. Now, place it beside a supermarket loaf. 7 days later, that packaged bread can still spring back under your fingers. Why? Preservatives are the obvious answer. Calcium propionate is one example, but that is only one part of the system. Long shelf life depends on 3 different jobs happening together: controlling mold, managing moisture, and slowing the structural changes that make bread feel stale. First, stale and moldy are not the same thing. Stalling is a change inside the bread. As it sits, starch, especially amylopectin, gradually reorganizes. Water redistributes through the crumb and crust. The crumb becomes firmer even when no mold is visible. Mold is different. It is fungal growth. A loaf can go stale before it grows mold, and a preservative can delay mold without solving staling. If bread shows mold, discard it. Because bread is porous, contamination can extend below the visible spot. Calcium propionate is allowed in United States baked goods as an antimicrobial ingredient under good manufacturing practice. It can delay important spoilage molds, but it is not an invisible shield. Performance depends on mold species, acidity, water activity, temperature, concentration, and the formula. That is why commercial shelf life is a system. Recipe, sanitation, cooling, handling, and packaging all matter. In the ingredient field, calcium propionate points mainly to mold control. It does not explain the entire soft texture. As mold pressure is reduced, a separate question remains: what keeps the crumb tender? Bread staling is not simply the loaf drying out. Research points to linked processes: starch retrogradation, water redistribution, and changes in the crumb network. Moisture loss matters, but slices with similar water content can still feel different because water is held differently and because starch and protein structure has changed. Bakers influence that process through formulation and production. Depending on the bread, enzymes, emulsifiers, hydrocolloids, fats, sugars, fermentation, and mixing can alter crumb structure or slow firming. No single ingredient explains every soft loaf. When a supermarket slice compresses and rebounds, you are feeling a material system: moisture in the crumb, gas cells holding their shape, and starch changes slowed rather than stopped. Softness is a different problem from mold control. One protects against spoilage, the other manages how bread changes as it ages. Then there is the bag, a boundary around the food. A suitable film slows moisture exchange and helps limit contamination after cooling. But balance matters. Too much moisture in the wrong conditions can support microbial growth, too little, and bread dries faster. Cooling, clean handling, seal integrity, and package permeability all affect the result. Shelf life emerges from product, process, and package working together. A preservative cannot compensate for poor sanitation or heavy contamination. A bag cannot stop every internal starch change. Each layer handles a different part of the problem. Long shelf life does not tell you whether a bread is nutritious. Those are separate questions. To compare loaves, read the whole label, look for whole grains and fiber, then check added sugars and sodium in the context of your diet. The FDA Nutrition Facts label includes those nutrients to support informed choices, and USDA guidance recommends making at least half your grains whole grains. Shelf life describes function. Nutrition requires a broader look. Soft supermarket bread is not one magic chemical. It is coordinated design, mold control, moisture management, crumb structure, processing, and packaging. When a loaf stays soft for days, look behind the food.